Good evening, friends of Crone's Crucible. We are back! We had so many troubles last week. It was terrible. Hello, gang!
Hi.
We live! Nobody knows the troubles we've seen.
Or not seen. We weren't seen at all. Twitch had troubles. Recording had troubles. We had them all piled into 1 week. So, yeah, Twitch servers were down and my recordings failed and we just got it all out of our systems. So we are back this week, bigger and better than before. We're ready to do this then. Let me swap this into slightly different screen so I can see what I'm seeing. And are we?
Are we truly bigger and better than before? I mean, we didn't level up, so I can't tell.
Well, it all matters about how much we ate over the last week. Maybe we are bigger. I don't know.
Kind of hope now. I'm trying to, like, decrease in size. Shrinking is part of the plan. Even though, you know,
As a side note, I'm really sorry you fans out there didn't get to see last week, because Relion kicked ass. Just take my word for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We
I'd
all
like
kicked
a little
that.
insight on that.
Yes, unfortunately, we had our usual great rolls, which is always fun. I have prepared a summary so that I can tell all you folks what happened last week, all the wonderful things that went on. Basically, we had a lot go on, RP-wise and otherwise, of what they were doing. Episode 2 of the main story, now we actually have had 3 episodes, because Session 0 is counted as kind of a separate thing. But Episode 2 of the main story found the party still in that Zentarum warehouse that they had been in, with that Kenku prisoner they had taken. And as they were preparing to leave, they heard the sound of quick march guard-type footfalls outside, and bursting in the door very suddenly, giving them no opportunity to scatter or do anything, was a dozen of the City Watch, which are the more elite of the guards in Waterdeep. They barricaded the exits, basically wouldn't let anybody leave, made everybody stop in place, and were making moves to arrest the party because they suspected them of creating the carnage that had happened inside the warehouse. But Renier never ever stepped forward. He immediately told the guards what had happened, how he'd been rescued by your group and so forth. Cashin and Lyric, who had found him, walked forward. Lyric was trying to stay very close to him because he was very afraid the guards were going to arrest everybody. And Renier was instantly recognized by the watch officer named Captain Stadget, as I recall. Cashin was recognized as well, although he got a kind of a grumpy retort from the officer, indicating that possibly there's some background between the two of them or whatever. But the noble, Renier, was able to get the captain to stand down and not arrest the party. However, the captain was very officious, and he handed out more copies of the Code Legal and gave you a lot of warnings about keeping your nose clean and so forth. During the various interchanges that were going on, there was one comment made between the captain and Renier about the money incident with your father, and Renier's response that he didn't have anything to do with that. He hadn't spoken with his father in years. And he convinced the captain eventually to release the party so that they could find his missing friend, Floon, who was just an innocent bystander in all these affairs. And finally, after consideration, Captain Stadget agreed to do so, but he took the apparently Xanathar guild member, Kenku, out of your control and arrested him and took Renier into protective custody for his own protection. And they shooed you out of the warehouse while they were going to do the investigation on everything. based on the info you've been able to glean from the kenku, which are basically sentence parroting birds. They don't have a language of their own. They tend to parrot what they've heard. They were seeking a sewer entrance marked with a yellow eye mark, that eye mark with the radiating spokes that you've come to recognize from several incidents that you've had. Cashin's history with the city and the guards allowed him to remember where there were some sewer covers that had those marks on them. And he told you that the guards, the lords, the various officials, authority of Waterdeep tended to keep their hands off of the guild war between the Xanathars and the Zentarum, because they basically, as long as they didn't overstep their bounds and affect the financial affairs of Waterdeep, they just kind of let the guilds kill each other off. They just left them to their own devices. So they didn't get much interference unless they took money out of some lord's pocket, and then it would be a problem. So they were just kind of ignored and allowed to exist. And with the help of Cashin, you were able to locate one such sewer cover that was about, a half mile from the warehouse, something like that. And you entered a section of sewers that was made of mostly natural rock, which is what you're seeing on the stream right now, which is the area that you entered into at the beginning. You were able to find these yellow chalk marks all along the wall, the natural walls of this cavern that was a sewer, and you followed them until you came to a section that was brickwork. Showed evidence of people having constructed something in an area. And you encountered at the beginning, you found it like a small beholder or gazer type of thing that was guarding the entrance into the brickwork area. You made fairly quick work of him, rolls notwithstanding, and got rid of him, and you moved inward into this more habitable kind of area. Found a raised section that led into some entrances that looked like it was probably what you were looking for. There was a raised doorstep that kept the sludge from going into this other area. So the inside was a lot cleaner, a lot easier to move around in. You didn't walk in as much moisture in it, although there's mold growing on the walls of just about everything here because it's very, very damp and slimy sort of environment. And as you entered, you encountered a pair of guard rooms with arrow slits that had goblin sleeping guards. They were supposed to be on guard, but typical of goblins, they were snoozing or dicing or whatever they were doing. And they were unaware of your approach. They were supposed to have seen your approach, but they didn't. Several of you managed to slip past the guards, but one of you stumbled, made some armor noise, and awoke them, and you wound up having to dispatch the goblins before you were able to continue on any further. Once this was completed, you found yourself with a pile of bodies, which are over here in the corner. I've piled a bunch of bodies in the corner there on the video, which you'll have to decide exactly what you did with them eventually. But they decided that the guard areas were sufficiently sealable that they could take a short rest. So they have taken a little bit of a rest. You have reclaimed up to 1 hit dice worth, because that's all you've got at this point, if you wish to use it. So remember to use that if you need to. Nakri, I notice you're down in hell.
I thought I did that roll already.
You did. It was a 3.
Ah, thank you. Oh, wait, was I at 2 HP before?
I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
I thought I believe we took a short rest, so you were able to
did.
hit dice.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
you
I did.
added
I rolled a 3.
I don't think you've added the 3 yet. I think you need to add the 3.
Well, I wasn't sure if I was at 5 HP the last time, or if I was at 2 HP, and then that would the 3.
I think you still need to add. Yeah, I think you need the 3. So go ahead and add it. The DM says you can add it. Take it before she changes her
Okay,
mind.
I'll take it. I'll take it. When?
During this time, though, during the short rest, Lyric would speak up. So seeing as how we're not faring too well down here, and we have no idea how much further we go, I kind of recommend a different approach. And I start going through my backpack. Or
We are doing
bag or whatever.
fine.
Let me add one other thing for you, just so you know what you've got here. Lynn, this is all quite dark, unlike what you're seeing here. In fact, let me put you onto a slightly different picture here. It's no longer natural rock. It's now brickwork, and so you have more of this kind of thing that you're looking at, a little bit more brickwork. And just to make a mark on the video so I can remember and recall it, you are now on the first day of full adventure, and it is about 1 p.m. at this time. So that's where you are. So now, what do you need to add?
I replied to Epiphany, you may be fine, Big E, but if you take a look at Nakari here, she did take quite a few hits.
Cashin nods as he's been looting the goblin bodies.
You find a total on all the bodies, there were 4 of them, you find a total of 14 coppers.
I believe I harvested
your
goblin
thought.
snacks. Yep. He's pulled off he's pulled off hands and fingers. Very
Took their
portable.
tongues.
Goblin tongue,
Decayed-
lovely as a
tongues
rose.
decay too quickly.
Going through my pack, and I'm getting out what appears to be a different set of clothes. I would recommend maybe trying to do a, I guess, diplomatic approach, or maybe deceptive, since that's what we're probably aiming for.
I'm not opposed to doing this. Granted, I'm not a stranger to taking hits, and while this is annoying at best, I do wish we actually had a healer.
Yeah, sorry, that's not really my forte, unfortunately.
I wasn't suggesting that it should be you.
I can offer a quick prayer to Mistra. Maybe she'll elevate some of your pain, but that's the best I can do, unfortunately.
We could make you believe you are well.
That's adorable. No, I'm actually no stranger to pain. In fact, this is not that bad. It's just a minor annoyance at best.
I can make your wound vanish. It'll still be there, but you won't be able to see it.
No. It's fine.
Won't see the wound, won't believe it's there.
Look, I'm of the firm believer, if you can't see it, it doesn't exist.
It is true.
Much like
One
your
time-
facial features.
Once friend Rel said that the guards did not exist, we were still detained, but he felt better.
We eventually made them disappear anyway. Wait, did I say that out loud?
We should not say that out loud.
I
I-
heard nothing.
We
I think
appreciate
it's actually
this,
quite
Virgil Smasher.
I actually did hear this, and I think it's quite amusing. I say as I'm taking off my red coat and putting on a black.
Speaking of the guards, and forgive me if I botch this, but Cashin, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that
Excuse me? Full title, Cashian the Clean.
Shush.
Emphasis
Sorry.
on the clean.
I reserve titles in due course. I'm keeping things civil.
Also, I
First
don't
names,
like that
last
title.
name. It's understandable. Not everyone does. But I noticed that you had a bit of a history with the gods.
Yeah.
Not to sound like I'm putting a sour point on an issue, but I just want to make sure that we're going to be able to complete this job for our dear Sir Volo, and I don't want you to be hindered either. Is there something that we should know?
Look, I've been in the city for a long time, and when you're bold and daring like me in a sophisticated place like this, you tend to rub people the wrong way. But make a long story short, I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
So what I'm hearing is you blew it somehow, and you're a has-been.
He's got a way with words, doesn't he?
Friend Rill, now is not the time for rudeness.
That is a bit strong to say.
I calls it like I see it. Like there, right there. That is clearly a pile of goblin feces.
Tell me, how exactly can you see without a face? I say, as I'm not paying attention to him. I'm still going through my bag.
Face? Yes, you have a face. It's a very nice face. Would make a wonderful handbag. Why are you bringing it?
Because I saw you stick your hand into your face and grabbed money out of it. That is not a normal thing to do.
Wait. My face?
Enough of the bickering, guys.
Wait. My face?
I am telling you, Cashin, I saw what I saw. That's what he did.
How about we
I've
accept
seen
each
stranger
other?
stuff.
How about we just accept each other for our oddities and solve one mystery at a time?
Agreed.
Look, I'm just saying, don't be silly. I don't have a face. Do I? At least I don't think I do. I think I did once, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I think it ran off somewhere to be someone else's handbag.
I'm shaking my head and I'm pulling my
So,
We appreciate your faceless nature.
A wizard face handbag.
So, Lady Scales. Sorry,
It's
really can't
not
remember.
not Korean.
Let-
Not Korean.
Oh, yeah, Cashin's tried about 30 times to say something. Finish it up there, Cashin.
So, back to what I was saying.
It's fun.
It shouldn't. My history with the guards shouldn't really be an issue. I've been pretty much trying to skirt by them for the last 20 years, but people have long memories in this city.
As do they everywhere, but no, I don't want to sound like I'm being rude on it. I wanted to make sure that you will be able to work with us. I people observe a lot, and I've noticed several things about you, as I've noticed things about everyone else here. And I think us as a group, minus the fact that we don't have someone to mend our wounds, can actually work very well as a group, cohesively. But I just want to make sure that you're going to be able to perform, or rather act upon what you need to do at the best of your abilities. I don't want people. I don't like people I want to potentially work with being hindered and having to hold a hand behind their back, unless of course they need to.
Well, truth be told, it's been a long time since I've done anything like this. I'm pretty rusty, so just give me some time and I'll get back into the swing of things.
Fair enough.
Considering Relian's roles, I think he's a little rusty too.
Ayo.
Snap.
Ew.
I'm sad now.
We do not appreciate the rudeness.
If you can't handle it, don't dish.
I
I'll
didn't dish it to her.
Anyways.
Suddenly bolder on Relian. I will say this: if there's something I can do to at least get some of the spotlight off your back, I'll see what I can do. If the opportunity presents itself. Agreeable?
Savvy.
Excellent. I think we've just formed a nice business relationship.
And as Cashin puts away his emblem and puts on his hood, he extends his hand to her.
And she will reach out and she will that oddly enough very firm grip as someone who is well versed in armed combat.
Yeah,
As
tank
long
should
as
be.
As long as his hand isn't being crushed.
Now,
Well, this is go-
now I can see it dissolving into the two tank types arm wrestling all of a sudden in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things where it's like the grip is strong, but it's like if she is squeezing too hard, it's not intentional.
The grip is strong in that one.
While this is going on, Relian's just leaning over to Epi and says, "It's like stage whispers. What do you think she noticed about us? I really hope it's not your murderous intent."
See, she likes my murderous intent.
We all do,
I
Epi.
just
We
don't
all
like
do,
good
Pat
diet
Pat.
habits.
He's so
See very well in the dark,
he's
but
so
I-
creepy. He's cute.
Our diet is efficient. He's just got like the whole. He's just got one of the goblins dangling from his hand, and he's just like chewing down the arm.
Oh God.
Well, at least it'll smell like one. It'll probably help our cause.
Whichever one of you sticks your head out of the door checking, the hall is empty. You've only been there about an hour, and apparently the changing of the guard hasn't happened at this point in time. So the hall is empty. You entered facing towards the west, and the hall extends about another 15 from the entrance door past the guard doors and on. It extends about 15 feet and then makes a turn to the right or north, L turn to the right. And what are you using a light source tonight, Nakri?
I want to use the torch, but I feel like I shouldn't, so I'm just going to rely on listening to the footsteps of the person ahead,
Okay,
whoever that might be.
that will, as usual, have you at disadvantage when you are doing attacks without light, so. Because you are basically blind at this point. Okay, so Cashin, then I assume, is leading the way out.
Yep.
Would it be okay just to have the torch handy, not lit, but ready to light the second we start hearing something?
Yeah, I can accept that. It
Yeah.
still will take an action to light it, but it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Gotta start getting a flame sword.
That was the last
Should've been a
campaign.
red dragon.
That was the last campaign.
We really would.
We apologize for not being a bringer of light.
I am, he says as his fists erupt into blue flame.
Okay, so what type of light is this? Is it the light spell or is it something else?
No, he was just getting fire bolts ready, but it doesn't actually produce light.
Okay.
At least not on the game mechanic wise.
Well, she can see your hand really well. She sees a blue hand moving around in the dark.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. All right.
Anyway, Cashin forges ahead with Nakri right behind him.
You head out, turn right into the 15-foot hallway.
We didn't make a plan.
What? Oh, right.
I think your friend wanted to play dress up.
That was the plan for during the long rest, was to make a plan.
It was a short rest, but yeah.
Or yeah, short rest. Use the short rest to make a plan.
If the gibbering screecher wishes to make a plan, what is its plan?
He wanted to play dress up, I think.
Everyone that could see me, which would be everyone but Nakri, would see me in a different coat, wearing a hat that kind of like obscures my face a little bit, and my rapier is now being used as like a cane sheath. Well, if you would be so kind as to lead the way, and I'll be able to take care of the rest, hopefully.
Well, thank you for your help, Ashran.
No. I've told you this before, Cashin. It is a gentleman named Ashran. It is like that bardic band that plays in Waterdeep, a troupe called Adventure. You say the whole...
A gentleman named Ashran.
Thank you very much.
Taran chieftains.
I have no idea what's going on. That's usual for me, but I feel like for some reason it's more perplexing right now.
We believe the gibbering screecher is attempting to deceive.
I mean,
You are
I'm just
very
throwing-
wise to notice there, Big E.
I'm just throwing this out there. I can turn myself into other people. I could turn myself into, I don't know, one of the fops they were trying to nab, and you guys could pretend to be undercover agents bringing me in.
I was thinking more of making them aware that they had done goofed, as they say up in Waterdeep.
You're aware that when people like this realize they done goofed, they try to cover up that they're darn goof, which includes killing the people who have seen them done darn goof.
And they don't realize how many people are on their way down, which is
The
why...
only flaw with your plan, Mr. No Face, is that one of the people they already have. The other person they apparently didn't want to have.
Well, apparently it's that they mistaken one for the other. Once they realize this...
Yes.
Epiphany creates a psychic connection with Relian and says, "We would enjoy seeing this explode in his face. Please let him continue."
All right.
God damn it.
Relian just says that. Relian just says that out loud. He just shrugs his shoulder and says,
So Lyric wouldn't know if he was saying okay to Lyric's plan or something
no,
else.
I hear him say okay. I'm like, thank you, Relian.
So
I'm
you
going to look.
Yeah, during this whole
Sorry.
time, you just hear a new voice. You don't hear Lyric anymore.
you head out the door of the guard room, which particular one you were in was on the north side of the hallway. So you head out, turn right into this 15-foot hallway, and you come to the end of it, and it turns north, goes off into the distance. Those of you with dark vision can tell it goes about 40 feet and goes down some steps. You can see some steps heading down maybe 5 or 10 feet down into a lower area. But it's about 40 feet ahead of you, and then makes another turn to the right, heading back east again. Even Knockreed can very, very faintly, not enough to see anything, but you can very faintly see the slightest little bit of flickering light coming just around the corner at the end of the 40 feet. There's just the tiniest little bit of indication there might be something with light ahead.
Cashin looks to this and then looks to Nokri and says, "Want to check it out?"
I think your movements are a little bit lighter than mine. I'll hang back and make sure the others don't do something.
Okay, and Cashin goes into stealth mode.
Very good. Give me a stealth roll. And it could be
Not that good.
rolls up.
Ba-ra-ba-bum-ba-bum.
You do your best to stealth along, but the path is uneven. Even though it's brickwork, it's been there a while and it's uneven in places. Some of the bricks have kind of pushed up. And as you near the end of this hallway where it turns again back towards the east, you suddenly step on something that squeals that you hadn't noticed. Makes a bit of a squeal in the dark. Give me a perception roll. Cash. You are absolutely certain as you look down that you have stepped on a rat and killed it.
Did it squeak beneath his feet?
And so you've
Squeaking a squelch.
Yeah, you killed a rat as you round this turn. However, you freeze dead for a moment, worried that it might have given you away, but you don't hear anything nearby around the turn of the corner, although you can very, very distantly, with that perception roll, you can tell that they're far away. There's a couple of voices.
Okay. Well, Cashin's gonna try and reorient himself to try and be more sneaky and get over there. If that's possible.
You are more careful as you go. Nothing else seems to get in your way for the time being. Are you rounding the corner and heading back east?
Wherever the voices are cut, wherever the voices.
There's only one channel in this. You don't see any doors or anything that open up. It's pretty much a direct hallway that just kind of, you came in, went around, you came back in a big U, 40 feet from where you came in. So you are still in a 5-foot wide hallway similar to what you're seeing there. You come to one place along in the hallway if you do round the corner. Tell me if you do.
Yes.
Where the ceiling is low. It's only about 5 feet above the floor. You can get by quite easily, but you have to kind of duck your head and go under. And as you go under this low ceiling area, you can hear the burbling and gurgling of sewage water running over your head. You are down under the.
At least it'll still drown out any sounds coming. Hopefully. So he keeps going towards the source of the sound of the noise.
You come to, as you duck under this and come out from under the low spot, you can see clearly there is a room ahead of you that is about 20 feet from side to side as you're looking into it, and about 15 feet deep away from you. That you can see that you can't see everything in the room because it's around the corner, but you can see a large section of the room, and you can tell there are sleeping mats and bedrolls in this room, and there is a flickering light that tells you there must be a candle in there.
Well, Cashin will try and peek through the door and see if there are any sleeping forms.
The beds are empty. There is no one in the beds at all. They're just laying rumpled and pushed aside. Apparently during the day people aren't in this. On the far south wall in a very poorly made bracket is a half-melted candle fluttering away. And if you come to the south wall and then continue east, there is a door down in the southeast corner of the room that faces towards the east. And it is through this door that you can now hear sounds of these voices louder. It sounds like there are two men talking in the other room.
Well, Cashin will brave the danger and go over to that.
It's a closed door.
All right, well, he'll try and listen through it anyway.
Give me a second perception roll, please, to see how much you can determine about these voices. One of them is a very gruff voice, speaking in kind of broken dwarvish kind of accent, very gruff. The second voice is also gruff, but you can't quite lay your finger on it, but you've heard this voice before. It just sounds familiar, but with a 12, you can't identify what it is. Is anybody following Cashin into the room, or is he alone?
I would have assumed that we probably would have snuck along behind him, but give him a wide berth for him to do what he needed to do. Like, we're not all the way back in the main room or anything. I'm assuming.
Yeah, Epiphany would be following, probably at a respectable 10, 15 foot distance, just to avoid, stepping over.
Very good. The beds are pushed enough aside that you have pretty good room in the center of this sleeping cubicle area, but it's not a large room, not a lot of room for things to move around a lot. So you have a door between you and these voices, and as you listen at the door, Cashin, you hear the gruff, really gruff voice say, "What kind of idiot are you? It's just going to come under the door. You need to stuff blankets in there. It's not going to just lift the latch, you know."
Okay.
I think we're waiting on what you're planning to do.
Yeah, I think he's trying to consider what he should do with a closed door and whether he's going to burst in or whatever.
Well, I'm trying to see if there's anything else being said.
You just hear him arguing about the door and blankets and apparently somebody said something about barricading it and various things.
Well, Cashin will just quietly turn around and go back to the group and just relay what's been said.
And of course, Nakri can see in this room, although it's somewhat dim.
I don't know what's being talked about, but it's talking about barricading, I guess, that room? I don't know. But one of those voices sounds familiar, but I don't know. It doesn't sound all that useful what they're talking about.
Is it your mother?
Oh my god, now is not the time.
Cashin just deadpans at him. It's like a face of pure disappointment.
You said it sounded familiar. How was I supposed to know it wasn't your mother?
It sounded like you, really.
Were there other rooms, if we had gone back the other way, had we gone, this is literally a one-shot way?
It was a shoot, CHUTE. You didn't have any choice of where you went on this one.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that if we had options or not.
You did not.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Well, I believe Fancy Pants here wanted to talk to them.
I don't think they're going to be in the mood for talking.
It's possible we could talk to them, but they're probably also not the ones that kidnapped them. Well, it's possible they could have kidnapped someone if they're trying to barricade.
I'm going to look around. Is the yellow symbol anywhere around here?
You find some gear with the yellow spoke symbol on it. There's nothing on the walls here, but some of the gear has it on it. There's no gear that's particularly important. It's just like there's maybe a handkerchief laying around with it stitched on or something like this. That tends to indicate that you are still in an area where that symbol holds sway.
When you say gear, what kind of stuff?
Unimportant stuff, like a handkerchief or a tinder box or something like this.
It's not like stamped like leather armor or...
No, all of these symbols look to be made rather crudely by whichever method, whether chiseled or drawn or stitched. They're all rather crude.
Wait a minute. What color is this symbol?
Yellow.
Yellow. Is there anything nearby in this gear that be like yellow chalk or yellow paint or anything like that? No.
No, it looks like the whoever made the symbols had done it some time ago. Most of the chalk symbols and things on the walls were a little bit rubbed out, like they've been there for some time.
What are you thinking, Music Man?
I'm sorry?
What are you thinking there, Music Man?
Celia, I was going to see if I could make that same symbol somewhere on my clothing to make myself like a higher up.
Okay, here you go.
But,
It'd have to be something you had in your own gear, because they didn't leave anything here.
Yeah, Relion just reaches out and pokes him in the chest, and roll 20 is acting slow for me tonight. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it takes a long time for it to respond. And then usually I'll get about 3 out.
There we go. Let's see. Where is it?
That's
Here we go.
digitation.
You make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or surface for 1 hour. So yeah, basically just the yellow symbol appears on his left breast.
Yeah, I was gonna say like something that's more discreet. I would like have it
on like cuffs or something.
Like oh no, or yeah, there we go. No, we'll have it on like his breast. Where his jacket is.
Lapel.
Yeah, lapel. There we go. On his lapel.
Okay, so yeah, Brilliant will just reach out and make the symbol appear on his inner lapel.
There we go. This is going to work even better. Thank you, Brilliant.
They're discussing Epiphany how to approach this while you were gone, and they just prestidigitated an eye symbol on Lyric's coat.
A yellow eye symbol. So
Brilliant makes his way back to Epi and opens up the mind link and says, "This is going to be freaking hilarious."
We will appreciate it.
I'll go to the others. Just stay back here. I'll take the bullet if they decide to attack, but we're hoping that this is going to work.
Well, Cashin, either way, will hug the wall.
And ahead of time, so we don't have to do it in the middle of the RP, Lyric, would you please give me a deception roll for what you were trying to pull? So we know now what we've got.
Well, deception is a 13.
Okay, that tells me what is going to go on in the room. So,
Okay.
Very good. And so are you trying the door?
Yep, I am going to go ahead and open the door.
All right. You give me a stealth roll to see. It won't make a whole lot of difference, but just give me a stealth roll to see how aware they are of you opening the door. Okay.
But it doesn't matter. I'm making it really shown anyway.
Right.
I'm not doing anything to try to be sneaky about it.
I just wanted to see how loud it was. Because they're making some noise and things, and I wanted to see if the noise was loud enough that they would hear it over what they were talking about, and they do. They kind of, they're 2 men, 1 a dwarf, are inside the room when you look inside. It's a room about the same size as the one you're currently in. Again, it's sleeping quarters with another 6 beds in it, bedrolls type of things. And on this exit door out, there's a couple of doors. There's a door to the northeast, which is where these 2 men are standing. And there's also a door on the south wall. Let me see exactly where it is so that I know. Oh, it's actually, both of the doors are on the east wall. The northeast wall is where these 2 men are standing. And the southeast door, there's nobody at it, just a door in that location. These 2 men have rags and blankets and chairs in their hands and are attempting to barricade the northeast door. There's rags stuffed under the door and what have you. They turn around and look, and at first they hardly give you a glance. And then one of the men, the second one to turn, the dwarf turns first and kind of glances at you and starts working with what he's doing again, not paying a whole lot of attention to you. The second man, however, when he turns, there is a whole different look. And you see in front of you the man that led the charge in the yawning portal, the man with the tattoo on his forehead, who was called Krinsk.
Rip.
Well,
I'm disguised though, so we're hoping that he doesn't see through it. Like I said,
and
my
I was hiding.
wide-brimmed hat is there to try to hide my face.
And that's why I had you do the roll, because I wanted to know. He turns, he gives you one squinty-eyed glance, and then he points at you and goes, You were in the yawning portal!
Yes, I was. So were you.
Remind me, please, let me take the snap off of this screen.
I mean, technically, the only people who were involved with the fight would have been myself and Cassian.
I
You were
was trying to
before-
vicious mockery him. Or no,
Oh, okay.
I was.
Epiphany was
Yeah,
also
I was
very
vicious
obvious.
mockery him.
What was
Yeah.
Lyric? Wait, let me hear from Lyric. Lyric, what were you doing?
I'm sorry.
What were you doing in the yawning portal? I want to hear. I need to know what you specifically were doing in the yawning portal.
I was doing vicious mockery, but I was also hiding in the crowd, so I don't know if he recognized that I was attacking him or not.
All right, he says, what are you doing here? I don't recognize you as part of the group.
And I show off my lapel. I think you should learn your place, young man. Unless you want to have a repeat of what happened in the Yawning Portal.
He laughs. No yellow's gonna order me around. Get your butt out of here.
Again, you forget your place. I'm here about the acquisition that your group apparently made last night. With one Renair Ember, never Ember. Nope. I'm keeping up with the.
He points to his forehead, and he says, You ain't no guild boss. What are you trying to order me around for?
Uh-oh.
I see we're gonna have to do this the hard way. Gentlemen, if you please, and I say that behind me.
Well, Cashin, with his hand crossbow out, goes and gets into the door and then shoots at the man with the tattoo.
And I would during this I would tell the dwarf. It was a dwarf that's also in there, right?
Yes, and he has very dark skin.
All right, I would tell the dwarf. Please do mind your manners, unless you wish to be roughed up like this insubordinate fool here.
So do I roll an attack?
Everybody roll initiative, but you're not quite in it yet. Let me pull the other guy out here. I need his picture as well.
Abo, it's the curse of the Dragonborn. Look at my rolls. Oh,
It's
God,
okay.
Sam.
It's okay. For a POTUS, it would have been a 1.
I can't. Roll 20s. Actually, that's so bad.
Technically, you go first because you have a +2 dex.
Okay, now see, I'm checking the programming later.
The dwarf turns around. He looks at Krentz, looks at Krentz's forehead, looks at your thing, and shakes his head and goes, There's something wrong here. It stinks higher than the outside of the sewer. And he pulls out his weapon and readies it. All right, let's see what everybody rolled initiative. Let's see, I got to get his initiative too.
Question, how many people are in the room?
2 besides you guys.
Okay, so it's just those 2.
And whatever's beyond the door, you don't know.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling it's like a gelatinous cube or some crazy nonsense like that. I mean, why else would they want to plug up the door?
Mm. Anyway, so what now? I mean, with what
I think she's just getting the roll order set up real quick.
Kransk doesn't hesitate. He launches himself towards you. So
Alright.
he is going to, the room is exactly the same dimensions, so he easily crosses the distance to where you are standing in the door. Now, before I get full-fledged into this, tell me, Lyric is right in the middle of the 5-foot door, or probably more like a 3-foot door.
I would have been right at the doorway, not in the middle of the room. So I would.
No,
I would
in the
be
doorway.
slightly-
That's what I said. In the middle of the doorway.
Slightly in front of the doorway. I would have given some room.
Okay, and who is directly behind him? Nakri, or you, or who is?
action?
Okay.
Cashin was closer to the door. I'm just kind of like a little bit by like Relian and Epiphany for right now.
How far back in the room would Relian and Epiphany be?
Probably, like, I don't know,
Halfway?
10 feet, something like that. Like, it's
Okay.
like basically far back, but not like next.
To the
Yeah,
wall?
you're about halfway back in the room, about 10 feet from the door. That's fine.
Yes.
That works out fine. So Lyric steps through the door where these guys can see what he looks like in his current clothing. And Cashin is right behind him. They would spot Cashin looking over Lyric's shoulder. All right, so at this point, Lyric, you have the first move. It is clear that Krensk is pulling out a weapon and plans to attack you. For leadership, if nothing else.
Yep. I unsheathe the rapier and hold a stance. I'm going to hold my action. If he attacks me, I'm going to attack him. I'm going to say to them, if you guys can, or if you underlings cannot recognize those that work directly under Xanathar, then you have no place in the guild at all. And I just hold my action.
I will tell you something silly later, which just would
Okay.
probably make them double over in laughter. Anyway, this token did not get properly done, so give me 1 second to get his information up here, because I didn't get the token right. Well, why it didn't, it worked on the other. That and that. Alrighty. Now we should be able to function. That's why the roll didn't work at first. Okay, so you are holding action. Epiphany, you are next in order.
Do I have line of sight?
No.
Of them?
No.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and put you guys on a battle map. Give me 1 second here to open up some visual so that you can do this. And I will actually put you on a visual ability here, so you'll know what you're looking at. And I just realized these rolls probably aren't going to show on this other page, but I will copy them over.
I mean, so long as, you know.
All right, so there's your visual map that you are seeing. The people in stream are not actually seeing this, so describe it to them when you have it. You're seeing more than they are seeing.
Yeah, so right.
Yeah, so it just be more verbally descriptive than normal.
Yeah, so right now, Epiphany is kind of back behind Nakri and Relian. He sees Cashin sort of behind Lyric, who's just inside the door. And he is going to load his crossbow, move directly behind Cassian, about 5 feet behind Cassian, and if he sees a target, he's going to take a shot.
Now, are the group of you able to see all the roll order?
No.
No.
All the what?
Hold on, I've got to re-add the roll order because this is a different page. I can see it because
so long as you can tell us who's next, that's all that really matters.
Okay, then I'll do that. I will verbally advance it, and because I can see it, even though you guys can't. Anyway, so you have readied an action as well. Both Lyric and Epiphany have readied an action. Cashin, you're next up.
Well, Cashin isn't going to be so nice with preparing actions, so he takes his rapier and then thrusts forward at the tattooed.
So you're pushing through the door and heading for Krentz. You're actually going to move forward the distance.
Yes. I can't get it through.
Oh yeah, I've got to open. Hold on, let me open that door so you get through on the dynamic light. I had Lyric halfway through, so he's able to move, but you couldn't. All right, now you can.
Still can't.
Here, I'll move my token.
I can't.
For her.
I don't understand why you can't, because maybe it's your token is too wide for the doorway. It's the only thing I can figure out. Let me move you through. Stop moving.
You need to lose some weight, Cashin.
Now you'll be able to move.
Now here's the funny thing: I can't get out.
Well, but yeah.
Can you move, Cashin?
Mm-hmm. So he dashes forward, or just rushes forward and stabs up.
You read one, Mr. Grant.
And on the screen that they're looking at on the stream, I'm going to put people in kind of the position where they are so they know where people are in this. All right, so roll your attack. You did 16. Got to see if this hits Mr. Krentz. It does indeed hit Mr. Krentz for 8 damage. He laughs again. You can tell as you get up close to him that he is still a little bit under the weather from the beating that he took in the yawning portal. He's not in full health. So he's laughing, but he's still busted and bruised from what he took in the yawning portal.
That's good to know.
I think it's Krinska's turn.
I have 2 keyboards and I was using the wrong keyboard and I couldn't figure out why. Let me double check here that it's doing it properly. Yes. All right. Now, anything else on movement or anything, Cashin, before Krentz moves?
No, you really can't do anything except move back, except that'll, provoke an attack of opportunity.
Very good. Krentz swings with his scimitar twice. No, actually, he actually is, in this fight, he's actually holding 2 daggers. So he makes 2 dagger attacks.
Did the door shut behind them?
No.
Or something?
No.
Okay, because I can't see in.
Yeah,
no one can. The door is technically closed for you guys.
Well,
that's what I was asking.
In map.
It's just because of the width of what they allowed on the dynamic lighting. I just have to pull your token through because they didn't give you enough room. It locks you out of the. Let me change something on the setting, and it should stop preventing you from going through. The automatic setting has you unable to move past walls, and I will set it so that you can. Now you shouldn't have that problem. Anyway, Clint makes two very powerful attacks with his daggers. Both of them hit, I'm pretty sure, a 23 and a 20.
Yep.
Ouch.
So you take 11 damage. Whoa, you're
no.
down.
Jesus.
Ouch. Okay, so Cashin's temporarily down right now, and of course you actually can't go to -1, you're at 0, but you'll be doing rolls on that.
In order for him to hit cash in, would he fall into my line of sight?
No, if you can't see him on where you are, you can't see him. You'll have to move up to the door.
Well, the thing is, the door is
I can't see it because the door on the map is actually blocking the way
Yeah.
for me.
And
I
I'm
can't. There is a door. There is a door here. You close the door behind you.
No, that's
No,
what I'm saying. That
well,
I removed the door. That's what I don't understand.
No, the door is the
On the
door.
screen.
I
is the line of
understand.
sight.
I understand what you are saying.
maybe
I am saying
maybe
that-
reset the roll 20 for those that are affected.
I only
Well,
think,
that'd be
Or
everyone.
refresh.
It affects me too.
yeah, it affected. I don't let me see if I can. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
we're saying is like
Oh, I see
there's
some
a
light now.
door there.
You can see now.
I can see Cassian's icon, but the door's closed and still shedding a light right in about here on it for me. I mean, I'm not in front of the door, but I'm just gonna move it just for the sake. Yeah, if I move the door, all of this is black right here where I'm pinging, and I can see right here.
Yay, technical issues.
And
Okay.
For whatever
yeah.
reason, it's still counting the door as being there, even though it's quote unquote open.
Okay.
Just refresh. I can see you guys now, and I couldn't before I refreshed.
Yeah, you guys try and refresh. I don't dare refresh because I will lose all of my
Okay.
sheets.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, stupid mosquito, get
Yeah.
the hell out of my room.
Okay. I understand now. We're good.
Are you able to see now?
I just got the lay of the land. I think I'm good.
I'm still trying to load there. Oh no, I still have that little door thing going on.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. Proceed.
Don't understand where it's coming from because there is no door in that area. There is nothing there. I'd have to take all of it. It's just nothing there. It's empty.
Don't worry.
I don't know. Yeah, Cashin can move back and forth now.
Yeah, and I can move when I couldn't before the refresh.
I don't know what's going on. Apple, let me take your character, and I will move it across the doorway.
Yeah, I can move across the doorway. So basically I thought that the stuff was happening over here and not way over here. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
we're good. Don't mind me.
Okay. We're functional again. All right. So anyway, it is the Duergar's turn, and he kind of looks at the boss guy and back at you, and he proceeds to step over Cashin's unconscious body and head for Lyric. So Lyric, you have a prepared action, and I assume that Epiphany will as well, because he will come into your field of vision when he attacks Lyric. So both of you use your prepared action.
All right. Oh, it won't let me scroll down. There we go.
Oh yeah.
That's item. This is what I want. Yeah.
All right, so he took a total of 18 damage in one heartbeat. He doesn't look so hot.
And I just tell him an example it is.
I still can't see the turn order, so just let me know when it's my go.
I think it's Rel's turn.
We can't hear you.
Yeah,
I know no one can see the turn order but me. Everybody's in that same boat. Because of
Okay,
the two
I
different
wasn't sure.
pages. It's because you're on two different pages. Your roll is on one page and your picture is on another. So you can't see the turn order. But I will tell you when your turn comes up. It is not your turn yet. You've
Okay.
still got a couple of people ahead of you.
Okay, sorry.
The Duergar is now going to attack with his war pick. And he will hit Lyric for 5 piercing damage.
5, you say?
5. Relian, it is your turn, and after that it will be Nocris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, to get a better, let's see here. I'm gonna have to move a little bit. Wow, roll 20 is really being slow for me tonight.
Yeah, sometimes it will, on a certain network, it just won't function at all.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go over here next to Nokri and Epi. I can only see the Underdwarf here, so yeah, let's see what. Again, apologies, slow. There.
There you go.
There we go. So yeah, Relion just holds up his finger like a little toy pop gun. Not that anyone knows what a gun is, and just goes pew and sends a little fireball towards the dwarf.
Look at that. That's a good roll.
Don't you freaking patronize me.
Friend Rel, you are participating.
Oh my god.
One more word out of you, Relly, and I'm not going to get you any more of those fancy rats that you like.
We are not.
Oh, yeah.
Relian.
You called him Rally. We are all we have been so screwed up this last week.
Let's
We're
keep
calling
it.
I'm sorry,
everybody
my
wrong.
computer.
It's
You know,
canon
my computer is, I don't know, it might be my computer. I don't know, my computer is slow. It's distracting me. But anyway, Epiphany, if you keep mocking me, I'm not going to get you any more of those fancy rats that you like.
We have goblin fingers.
Now let's see.
You're
Relian
getting mouthy.
hit the dwarf, right?
Yeah.
You took him out. He is dead or down. He is on the floor, same as Cashin. He's down.
Poor buddy.
Yeah. The two of you are down playing chess on the floor or whatever. Alright, so
I'm not worried
passionate
about saving
embrace.
the dwarf. He's most likely dead.
alright, so we're up to Nokri.
Yeah. So I am going to move to about here so I can see. So I gotta get around that corner. Hey, it's the friend from before.
And your friend on the ground.
And my friend on the ground. So guess where I'm bum rushing to?
Oh, snap.
There we go. Moving in up into this guy's personal space. And I'm gonna smack him across the face.
No, you're not. With
Nope.
a 6.
Alright. Hey, I'm getting more scrolls out now. But at least I'm up here.
Any bonus actions?
Breath weapon does not count as bonus action.
Action.
It's an action.
Okay. I got nothing.
Alright, Lyric, we're back to you.
Level 1 fighters suck.
Not what I'm doing. Sorry, I was chewing on something. I'll go ahead and go up. Well, no, actually, I don't want to go up into his face. Healing word's a bonus action, I think.
It's touch.
It is indeed a bonus action. No, healing word's a void, so
Okay.
it's cure wounds is touch.
Cure wounds. I never can remember which one's which.
I just didn't remember if healing word was bonus or not, but I remember that one's the void.
Wounds is touch. Healing word has word as in.
Yep. So I will cast healing word on Cashin. Oh, I should probably roll for that, right?
Yep.
That's something
Yes,
I have to
please.
roll.
And thank you, Cashin, or Elliston in this case, for saying that, because I always get the two mixed up, so I appreciate the word and voice distance connection that will help me remember that. And Cashin heals for 5.
Yep,
You are
Cashin
back
heals for
up.
5, and then I will hold my action. If the guy gets in within the melee range, I will stab him with my rapier.
Okay, Epiphany, you're back up.
Epiphany puts the crossbow away, walks in, sees the insanity, and telepathically says to Relian, "Do we care if this one lives?"
And what's Relian's answer? Is Sam there?
Really?
We do not hear anything. We will make our own decision.
Right.
Oh no.
He will, his eyes will roll back, and he will send a mental spike right into the guy's brain. So he's going to cast new special crazy thing, Mind Sliver. So it'll be a DC 13 intelligence save, or he'll take 3 psychic damage, and he'll have minus D4 on his next save until the end of my next turn.
For the viewers' information, with a discussion this week and new unearthed arcana that was released by Wizards, he has been permitted to use a form that is much closer to what his character really was intended to be at the beginning. They released something that fits Epiphany to a T, so he has a slightly different flavor this week, which will be his new form that he's working at.
And
Pistachio flavor.
I know, and we've modified, and we've taken the cantrip that comes in that same thing and modified it to be a bit closer to vicious mockery. So
all right, he failed very badly. First time the target makes a saving throw before the end of your next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number from the save. All right, so I will need a d4 if he has any save, and he currently takes 3 hit points damage.
And then as a bonus action, I will establish a psychic connection with him. We are coming.
You are just connecting on this round, not actually using it for anything, correct?
Yeah, he's just putting a little connection there, you know. We'll use that later.
Very good. And now we are up to Prince's turn. What? You went off of this. Hold on. What was your roll, Cashin? You remember? 10? Because your token disappeared off the page, and that's what happened. Why I didn't see you. Let me make this 10 and get you in the right spot.
Dear Roll20, a week, a month, 3 months, more months without a glitch would be wonderful.
Yeah.
How about just a day?
All right.
About
You know,
3 freaking hours.
How about just 3 hours on Sunday nights only? You know,
Right?
3 freaking hours. Is it so much to ask?
No, you gotta start.
Cashin is up.
5 o'clock.
Cashin can act. I have him back on the turn order now.
All right, so, well, Cashin now backing up and a little ticked off that the guy
Took him down so easily.
So he takes out one of his daggers and attack with his rapier and the dagger.
Do you have the dual wield feat?
No, I don't.
What feat do you have for that? Anything?
I don't have a feat.
Yeah,
The
so
second one is at disadvantage, right?
No, it's you can't add your proficiency to it.
Okay.
All right, so first attack.
11 does not hit.
And with the dagger.
That hits. And so you've got sneak because of the vicinity of allies, so he takes 9 damage. And something's wrong there because he had less than that. There we go. Okay, because he was down in health, but it put him back up at full health, which isn't right. Yep, he started out down in health before he took damage. All right. So anything else? If not, Krensk will attack again. Let's see. And we've got Nokri right up in his face as well. He swings at Nokri twice this time. And 13 and 15. Neither hit.
Both miss.
All right.
Miss. Oh yeah, for that 18 AC.
Thank you for that.
Relian.
Leaning back is great.
It is Relian's turn, and then it will be Nokri again.
At this point, he's just got to get in the frickin' Epi, move over.
Relian like climbing over Epiphany and just going, "Oh, your fat ass."
Actually heading into the room proper. You know what? Let's roll those dice, literally. I cast...
Cast what?
He casts
Oh. Yeah, he casts his weapon, the thing that lets me
It's
kill
not a
people.
nat 1, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah, at least-
that's the important thing.
Yeah, at least you got something besides a nat 1 this time on your weapon. You get and look at your off roll. You did fine on the off roll, but you couldn't get it on the main one.
You gotta switch them.
Can I have advantage?
Not unless you're a rogue.
Out of pity.
You know what the thing is? You know what I think it is? I think it's because you're not shooting it from the 80 feet back. You're shooting it from less than that, so you're definitely gonna not hit.
That logic would work
That-
if we were using logic. However, it's roll 20, and that
This
doesn't apply.
just roll.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help.
All right, Nokri, let's see what you can do since he swung and missed you.
Yep. Probably not gonna hit him, but
Warhammer 12, nope, it doesn't hit. You just barely missing, and he snarks at you with a grin, and his teeth are, when you're up really close in his face, his teeth are stained. He's been chewing some kind of tobacco or drug product or something, that his teeth are all stained purple.
I know this isn't Dragon Path, but could I just, even if it doesn't like hit him to hurt him, can I just spit acid at his shoulder just to burn the clothing?
You can fluff anything you want.
It's one of those like you know how like someone's
It's a little touch.
Yeah.
It's just that it's one of those like moments where you're just like you're annoyed enough that you just spit on him, but it's just gonna be acid.
And
Relian points wildly at Nokri. Say it's not just me!
it makes me think of an event that happened to me years ago. I was dressed in a very fancy and very expensive dress, getting ready to go out to a party, and the car wouldn't start. And I went and I checked under the hood, and the battery was out of water. So I went in, got some distilled water, came out, popped the thing off the battery, and poured the water in very callously, not thinking. I got to the party, and I looked down the front of my dress, and I had little holes all down the front of my dress where the sulfuric acid had eaten through this
Jesus.
$150 dress. I would not.
Ouch.
I
My
would not.
soul.
Anyway, I have pictures of kind of that on the front of it. Okay, Lyric, you are up again.
I move a little bit over to. I don't want to get in the melee range, so I'll just move to like right here, and
Okay.
I'll cast Vicious Mockery.
Yes.
Oh, if I can. Oh, I said, come on. There we go. Vicious Mockery, DC
Wisdom.
13, or take 2 damage.
With a minus 1d4.
Oh yeah, he's got to subtract 4. He rolled a 16 minus. Oh, I've got to roll the 1d4. I'm just going to subtract 4, which would be great. Let's see, 1d4. He rolls 2, so that's a 14. He's still saved, right? Yep.
He succeeds, so nothing happens then.
Okie doke. And it is Epiphany's turn, unless you have another move, Lyric.
Nope. I am out of moves.
I imagine whenever Vicious Mockery doesn't work, you just flub the insult like, "Hey, you three-eyed jerk."
Right?
Your mother wears ballerina slippers. Anyway, Epiphany.
Your mind is delicious. Mind sliver.
I should say this guy doesn't have. Well, he's better in intelligence than you think for a third world thug. 12 is not enough.
Not enough, so 1 psychic damage and minus d4 on his next save.
Joe Cashin.
Putting his dagger back away, he just goes at him again with his rapier, sort of half hiding behind Nokri and her shield. Not enough.
Nope, not enough. And Krentz will swing at Nokri again. He does one nat 1 miss, which I'll have to roll, and he does a 14, which doesn't hit either. So let me roll his very bad miss and see how bad it is.
He stabs himself in the toe.
I had to check to see if he did, but he rolled a 15, so he was still in control of it, even though he missed very badly. He swung wide because she apparently did a really quick duck or something and he missed, but he wasn't out of control of his weapon. Reliant.
You know what? At times like this, it's better to go with what you know.
Not enough. You guys just can't get over that last. You guys get right to it, but you can't quite get over it.
We're just having bad luck tonight. We've had bad luck this entire campaign.
Nokri, come on. Do it one for the Gipper.
I'm getting so tired of this bump. Nope. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the one-handed because I was like, drop the shield and go two-handed. Just stick with it. It's gonna happen.
Finally.
That one hit. So you are doing 8 damage there.
Yeah.
He's finally starting to look very battered and bruised, and he tries, without getting out of melee range and taking any hits of opportunity, he tries backing around the two of you who are in the front and near him, backing around so that he's starting to move a little bit closer to that other door, like he's trying to edge away from the group. Lyric.
Me? Already?
Already.
Yeah.
Alright. Is he in melee range of me? He is within 5 feet.
Yep.
Trip him up.
No. It's a saving throw for the thing, so like he doesn't have like advantage or disadvantage if I use Vicious Mockery, right?
Correct.
That's what I was more worried, because I know spellcasting, if it's like a ranged attack, that has disadvantage.
Yeah, Mockery is a DC roll.
Alright. So in that case, Why am I not getting on the right thing? I'm gonna go ahead and Vicious Mockery again. D13.
And roll 20 isn't rolling. There we go. And he rolls a 19, but he has to subtract a d4.
Well, that 1d4 won't matter.
It won't matter, yeah.
Yeah.
Epiphany.
Mind freak him again.
We wish to mind freak him. Crunch. Group's looking pretty hefty.
Group has some injuries. Krensk is looking pretty bad, relatively so. There's some injuries among your group.
Friend Lyric, please allow me. Do not scream at him. And he will mind sliver.
And we will do another intelligence save. I'm surprised he has a 14 intelligence. That seems high. But this time he only rolled a 4. So he failed it really bad this time. He's starting to lose his mind, I think. All right, so he takes another psychic damage. And he's got that same disability. Let me put something here so that I remember. Don't forget the thing on this that I've got. I'm doing it on the screen, rather than on your screen. Anyway, Cashin, you're up again. Come on, somebody can hit this guy.
Well, Cashin can see what he's trying to do, so he stabs at his leg.
Okay, that's a hit. Oh, 7 damage.
Yep, he definitely gets some muscle.
Give me what I'm going to do, since technically there aren't called shots in 5. Give me a d20 roll, and I'm going to see if you succeeded at your called shot. If it is higher than a 10, you succeeded. Okay. All right, so he's not crippled. All right, Krensk is backing away, but he continues to swing at Nokri. 1, 2. First one hits for 5 piercing damage. Nokri, the second one misses.
Okay.
And it is Relian again.
Relian just throws up his hands and shouts to the ceiling, Mistra, I pray to you and your divine bosom, help me!
She's kind of turned her back on you. Oh, that time she liked it.
She definitely likes it when people praise her bosom.
Praise the bosom!
Okay, so you hit him for 5 damage, and he is definitely bloodied. He is not giving a snarky grin anymore. He is definitely wanting out of here. All right. It is Nukri that is up.
I am, let's see here, if I can. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't want to kill him, I just want to knock him unconscious for a minute. So,
I mean, I want to kill him.
I want to find out what he knows. So, yeah, I'll attack.
That's a hit, but you take him down with that. That is way over how many hit points you have left. If it had been a graze, I would have allowed you to take him down to 1. But you are 6 hit points over his limit, so he is down.
Okay. And then just to get back those hit points before I'm going to second wind. I still have to fix the spell card, but it's 1d10 plus 1.
Brilliant.
And, let's see here. How much HP did he take me out for? I forgot to mark it. 5, thank you.
That's a lot of HP to get back.
Yeah, second one's dope.
All right, you are out of combat. You are standing in a room with two doors, one of which has furniture propped against it and stuff jammed under it, and one of which does not.
Relian just takes a deep breath and says, "All praise be to the magical bosom."
I am taking off my disguise now, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Praise the bosom.
I'm going to gently kick the guy over just to roll him onto his back and take a good look at him.
Epiphany would like to harvest snacks from the bodies.
Before you go harvest them, Cashin would like to search their body.
Very good. Let me double check and see what, if anything, you find.
You may have items. We need food more specifically.
Cassian, I think this one might be a good present to the captain of the guard. I think we should hand him over as a goodwill.
Yeah, I don't think they'll like the fact he's dead, because he can't
No,
extract
I thought
answers.
I knocked him unconscious, not dead.
Nope.
No,
Wait,
she said.
No,
Oh,
you took.
okay.
You were
Okay,
too
yeah,
far
yeah,
over.
way too far.
You were way too
Yeah.
far over. It had to have been a graze for me to. If you'd gone no more than 2 points
Got
over, I
it.
would have done it. But you were way over. You're like
I
6
thought.
points over.
Okay.
Okay, so what have we learned, class? If we ever try this scam again, yellow are peons, black means guild boss. Okay.
Or at least higher up on the food chain.
So, well,
So
either
there's
way,
neither of them had any money or loot on them. They looked to have been kind of in work clothes, like they weren't expecting to be on the town today.
I don't suppose somebody has the ability to communicate with the dead.
Cashin does take those 2 knives, though.
I'm sorry, love. Even if I did have the ability to speak with dead, I am tapped out.
Pity. It would have been interesting to dredge the information out of him, but alas, I think I'd hit him a little too hard.
Can Cashin take those knives or daggers from him?
Yes, they are normal daggers,
All
just regular damage. So you can glean that off, and there was also a pickaxe on the dwarf if you want that.
Bane Leaper, Brutal Smasher, you plan to take the corpse of the tall one with the eye mark?
Yeah.
Well,
So I may have this one?
you can have that one. I don't think we'll be taking this one after all. I didn't realize how hard I hit him until just now.
Relian, Epi, what have I told you? Wash your food before you eat. Oh, there he goes. Okay, yep, the jaw has become unhinged.
And his jaw actually, like, the bottom part opens up and, like, seems to... It doesn't split, but it, like, extends wider, and he's just, like, chewing on it.
Yeah, you get used to that. It takes a while, but you
I'm
get
not
used.
even watching. I'm not even
Yeah.
watching. Please don't even
It's
describe
just,
it to me,
it's
please.
just
Oh God, his throat is distending like a snake.
I asked you very politely to not describe it.
And knowing Relian, he
Oh.
pays no attention whatsoever.
Oh, the acidic saliva. It's melting the flesh. Oh, there goes the bones. The marrow is on the floor.
We're definitely not PG any.
My good sir, I didn't think I needed a play-by-play. I wasn't actually watching.
Don't.
While that's happening. While that's happening, could Relian, like, Cashian's got the bodies covered. Could Relian actually search the room?
You're welcome to search the room. I will have you roll a d20, please. You find scattered amidst the bedrolls and a single pouch, you find 18 coppers, which are the nibs. We're trying to learn the Waterdeep coins, nibs. You find 18 nibs.
Relian just, like, bounces them in his palm and goes, yoink! And he's going to make his way over to where all the furniture is propped up against the other door and says, What do you suppose they were in such a hurry to keep out?
I don't want to find out.
I kinda wanna find out.
I would recommend that we leave the door alone. If they were making a big deal of blockading it, it's probably worth noting that it's with the BC that we fought before. We probably should leave it alone.
We should open it.
We just had a little bit of an incident. We don't have a person to heal us unless you can find some health potions on these individuals or within the room. I think we should keep on task and not venture into the room.
Is our task not to find the other red-haired one?
There's another
Yeah.
door for us to search through.
Yeah,
That
I
is
got he's
completely
behind it.
unblockaded.
Without undoing the blockade, could Relian, press himself against the floor and try to, using his dark vision, peek out from the gap of where the floor meets the bottom of the door
And
that
you're
they were so eager to...
So you'll pull the stuffing out from the bottom of the door.
Oh,
and
it's already stuffed? Oh, no, if it's already stuffed, then no, he's not messing with it.
Okay,
That
so
seems like a bad...
Epiphany goes up to the thing and just goes, "Hello."
give me a perception roll.
Oh my god.
That's very good, Epi. Use your words.
I'm gonna go ahead and back away. I'm gonna. Oh, that's not the.
We can always close the door.
I am gonna just politely step over the door, the Durgar,
What's left of it?
and just and I'm just gonna,
Boots. That's all that's left of it.
if you're gonna go ahead and open that door, don't mind me. I'm just gonna stay right here, range of leaving this room.
We're not opening up, you pansy. We're just, seeing
Sniffing.
what we can see.
We're just sniffing at the door. Epiphany doesn't notice much, except it kind of sounds like a cauldron is bubbling inside. Bloop.
Are they cooking something?
We do not know. So it's like there's so is it like there's just a bunch of debris plugged up the door?
Yeah, they've got clothes and blankets and things that they've stuffed under, and that the Durgar was stuffing under the door, and Krensk has a chair propped under the door handle.
Okay, so there's stuff. So it's a door, but there's stuff blocking the bottom of the door. And there's a chair propped up against it. Right.
Correct.
Does it look like anything's trying to... Is the door moving at all, rattling? Does it look like something is actively...
Nope, it's staying stationary. The only indication you have is this bloop, bloop, bloop.
Would it be possible for Epiphany to pull out some of the bottom and look underneath?
Oh, yeah.
Abby, no.
We need to know.
We don't really.
I
Yes, we do.
need to live, and I'm gonna step through the door this time.
Then you can flee. So he's gonna drop down to the grimy, nasty floor, and he's going to try to pull open just enough to look underneath.
And roll for initiative. I'm going to put you back on the other page.
Ah, damn it.
Only Epiphany at this point has to roll. Well, I'll have you all do it. But Epiphany's the only critical
It's just
one right now.
rats. Just rats.
If something's
it's
attacking
worse.
Epiphany, Relian's going
worse.
to...
It looks like a melting wall, so yeah, I think it's more than just rats. Oh, that's not it.
Oh, are we rolling initiative again?
Yeah, but
Yep.
right now only Epiphany is in attack. The rest of you I would ignore.
You can blame Mappo for this.
As
Who are we?
always.
1, 2, 3. We're missing
know-
one person. Who are we missing? Cashin. No.
I
1, 2,
haven't
3.
rolled yet.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't roll yet.
Yeah, I had to AFK because I wanted to check something in the front room and then get myself my second cup of green tea. So
Let me put these tokens more like what the actual thing is here. I'll take Prinsk and the Durgar off.
Why can't I make this larger or smaller?
All right, now the doorway is back where Lyric is in this picture. So put your token where you moved to before Epiphany pulled the stuffing out from under the door.
I was in back here.
It was nice knowing you all.
Yes, it was. Actually, I don't know. We told you not to, and you decided to do it anyway.
What's going on, you man?
I was actually on the opposite side of the door, so
that's fine.
I'm not even in the room. I'm not even in the room at all. Just letting you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Either.
Okay, so
no, I physically left the room.
Yeah, you're racking the other bedroom.
Yeah,
Yep.
followed it.
Okay, so pull your token out if you're not on this page. Pull it down to the black area if you're in the previous room. All right, so we have Relian and Epiphany up by the door. So let me put these tokens in descending order, and we will skip everybody but Epiphany and Relian that are in attack range. So coming down the order, Relian, you are the first one on the list that will have an attack. So we'll start with you. Actually, as it pulls out, you pull out the stuffing, it would actually get one attack.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I hope
A large gloppy appendage oozes out from under the door and comes out and tries to plant a big gloppy goop onto Epiphany when he pulls it out. So, I don't think 9 is going to attack. So this big
Nope, 9 misses.
thud on the floor and squishy, squishy, goopy stuff comes out of it as it tries to slap onto you. And now, Relian, it is your turn.
Seeing this, hopefully Effie is far enough away, but seeing the large tendril coming out of the door, he just says, "Mistra, bosom time!"
Hide me in your bosom. And
wow.
That actually hits. So you did 6 damage to this floppy thing.
Is the cup in your way? Do I have to move the prancing dog?
Epiphany.
Help us!
Could I plug it back up?
Not now. It's glooping out and sliding all around you.
Okay. In that case, we're just, you know what? No, we don't.
This thing also, by the way, has a terrible smell of sewage. It smells like raw sewage.
So it doesn't affect Epiphany.
Delicious. Yeah.
No, it doesn't affect you necessarily, but there's no doubt that this thing came out of something that was definitely sewage.
We are going to we don't want to leave Relian, so I guess we're just gonna do this. We will cast send a bunch of psychic freakouts towards it and cast Dissonant Whisper.
It's not immune to psychic. It's interesting. All right, so it will do a wisdom save. Oh, God. And it rolls a 4. Yes, I was expecting that. So it takes 5 psychic damage.
Yes.
Has your mind, Epi, has a brush with the mind of this thing. It is you struggle with losing your sanity a little bit because this thing has no real intellect that you can discern, and your brain just kind of runs around in what counts as a mind. But there's not much mind there. The only thing you would sense would be eat.
So it must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far away as its speed allows from me.
Okay. Cashin, are you doing anything before we go on?
He's just hearing the he's hearing the and smelling it too. So
Yes.
like, what the hell?
Was there? Sorry, did it move away at all, or is it
Not
still
at
like
this
right?
moment. It has blopped out from under the door, and you just basically have this thing that looks like very wet clay or jello that's gray colored.
Well, it has to use its reaction to move away from me if it fails
And
to move as far as it can.
it will. It will now start retreating out back in under the door.
Okay. Come, Relian.
And the grooves, the goopy thing will have moved away rather than attacking you on this round. So you cannot see it at this point. So you guys are retreating.
Do to get attacks of opportunity.
He can't. He had to use it to run away.
No, he's asking if we do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do we?
Relian,
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Relian
actually,
would,
Relian would get an attack of opportunity.
Just to chase it further out from under the. This wouldn't like knock it out of its like psychic fear-induced trauma. Okay, in that case, yeah, to further just drive it back out from or back under the door. It's just like back, foul beast! There's only one room for a horrible monster in this adventure, and he's my best friend.
Oh yeah, it seems to quiver and shake as it retreats.
The second it retreats, Relion is going to grab the blanket, stuff it back from under the door, and he's just like, he's taken upon himself to carry on the two dead minions' mission. He's putting stuff in front of the door, just totally blockading it, making sure this thing never sees the light of day.
All right, so you guys are again out of combat. You have managed to stop the combat. So
We enjoyed its mind.
I poked my head in. This is why you are not allowed to open doors anymore.
all right, so you've got only one other exit of choice. We got.
I see Epi's reaction.
We've got about 15 minutes remaining. You have only one other place you can go, which is the door on the southeast of the wall.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cashin's just gonna look at them and say, "All right, I'm going to open this door, and I'm going to sneak quietly. Please don't try and follow."
Don't step on any rats.
Let me guess. Epiphany ate it.
Epiphany readies a crossbow bolt. No, we do not eat these rats. These rats are disgusting.
Either way, Cashin goes into stealth mode.
Yes, he only eats the clean, fancy rat, the rat catcher.
When you open the door, you find another 5-foot hallway. Extends only like 5 feet in front of you. Makes a sharp right turn to the south and continues on somewhere. So just right there, the halter.
Well, Cashin's just gonna peek around the corner, just trying to see what's going on.
You can see the hallway continuing on for about, 25 feet, something like that. No, that's not what I asked for. Yeah, about 30 feet, heads south about 30 feet, and opens up into a room that seems to have a fair amount of light. You would probably be able to see more of what was going on in that room, but there is another one of those dips in the ceiling that you have to duck under, just like the other one, probably a section of the sewer, and it is blocking your sight a bit.
Well, Cashin's gonna risk it and just sneak further forward.
Very good. Get all these tokens over where I'm keeping track so to get past where these sewer things come down. They actually block your access, which they really shouldn't do. All right, now Cashin is in front. Nakri, are you behind him? Who will be coming up as he explores?
I'll follow. Is it is it how well lit? Sorry.
It's getting better lit all the time because you're coming into a room that is fully lit.
I'll follow behind, but if he needs to go ahead, I'll make sure he has the space to get there.
All right, and behind Nakri is
Lyric.
Relian and Epiphany are bringing up the rear. Okay. As Cashin sneaks forward, there's another little bit of stairs that go down slightly, just short distance. And in the room, you can see a half-orc, a very burly half-orc, who has a rope tied around a man's neck. The man is on his stomach on the floor with this rope tied around his neck, which the orc is holding in his hand. And he has a foot up on the guy's back and is basically squashing him underfoot. The guy on the floor looks terribly injured. And hang on just a second.
While we're waiting, I actually go back to Epiphany and Relian. You know, now that I think about it, if we run into any more trouble, that thing could actually be useful. We could make it eat them.
See, we learned something.
You're still not allowed to open doors.
Ahead of you, you see that image that you are seeing there.
We see the eye image anywhere on the orc. Is it similar to the man? Does he have a tattoo?
He has what looks to be a golden symbol, a metallic kind of goldish, could be bronze or gold or whatever, that is affixed to the front of his vest.
When you say metallic gold, it's very clearly different from the basic yellow we've been seeing? Okay.
Well, this explains why they were laughing at me.
Yeah, it seems to go yellow, black, gold. There's probably some other colors, but that seems to be the I can make the symbol again, or would you like to give it another try? Or, in fact, why don't I do the talking this time? That sounds like a good turn out.
Because you do not make sense. That's why you don't.
I can make sense when I want to. It's just I usually don't want to.
Let me give you a little bit of description of the room so you know what you're facing ahead of you. The 5-foot passageway opens up 15 feet wide in this room, and about 30 feet deep away from you, you're facing south. You can see threadbare curtains hanging on the east wall, apparently blocking off some kind of exit or entrance of some kind. You don't know what it is. And the orc and his victim are right in the middle of this room, just halfway down towards the south in this room. And he is clearly torturing this guy, and the guy is squealing in pain. And the orc's other fist, he's not holding the rope with, is up, and there is fire blazing in the palm of his hand. And he is preparing, apparently, to administer this fire to the prisoner, who is squirming and crying underneath. Behind him on a raised platform, kind of dais area, and sitting on a large, heavy wooden chair, is what you would describe as being something a bit out of a nightmare. It is some kind of creature which is wearing black robes. There is a hood over its head, but its eyes are bulbous and white. It is not what you would truly call humanoid in its eyes, and there is just the slightest vision of wrinkled, purplish skin, twisted, kind of contorted purple skin, and just a little bit of a tentacle sneaking out from under the hood.
Oh boy.
It is. One more thing. Important. It has a pet in its lap that is cradling, and the pet looks like it is a wrinkled lump of various fleshy masses in curves and wrinkles and twists, and has feet on this wrinkled mass.
Can I try and discern what these two creatures are?
Give me a history check to see how well you've studied books or whatever. You are able to discern what the smaller creature is. It looks like an intellect devourer.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
what does he know about intellect devourers besides the obvious?
Mostly at that roll, all you know is horror stories, that it's something to stay away from.
Alright.
okay, so the victim that he's torturing, do we recognize him? Does he look like does he match the description of the person we were sent to find, or does he look like he could pass?
He looks very similar to Renair.
Crap.
Well, only Cashin's seen this.
Well, the others kind of came up down the hall. They just stay hanging back, and you can see this far to him and just can barely tell that there's this creepy thing in the background.
Okay.
Well, Cashin just turns around and says, well, that orc is torturing who is most likely Floon, and that half-orc, I should say, has a master that has an intellect devourer as a pet.
Okay, so we have two options here. We can turn around and leave. I favor that option. Or two, one of us. One, because there's no point in getting us all killed. Whoever is better with words, I can put a slightly higher ranking image on them, and one of us can go talk to him. So it's either you or me, Music Man. What's it going to be?
I wouldn't mind trying that again if we get the ranking of the symbol this time.
Can you make yourself look like the one we just killed?
The one we just killed is lower rank. We want someone that's higher rank that has probably not been seen by, with at least what I plan to try to do.
We could maybe assist. Epiphany looks very interested in this twisted-looking creature at the far end.
Your long-lost brother.
Right.
Okay. Flicks his four-pronged tongue.
So yeah, I guess I tell Relian, go ahead, make it gold, metallic.
Okay. You know what?
All right. Are you sure you're going to try to make yourself equal rank to the orc?
Equal rank to the guy, but basically I'm a face that he doesn't recognize.
Okay, I'm just going to say this sounds like a bad idea. I can literally turn myself into the guy we just killed. I could come up with some bull story.
If you want to do it, go on ahead. Be my guy.
I don't want to do this. I want to get the hell out of here.
Well, you're the one that's making the suggestion.
Check your information. We will go until you make your decision and your move, and we will be stopping it there. So make your decision.
Okay, Epi, anything to add? You said you could have.
And he pulls his hood up, and he just sticks his pronged tongue out, like trying to mimic the tentacle coming out of the other guy.
Is that your
We can attempt to speak with its mind as well.
You know what?
It's your decision, Relian. Put it on me or put it on yourself. But we're getting through to this.
You know what? We're gonna roll those dice. You three stay in the shadows. Get ready to bail us the hells out. Me and Epi are gonna do this. Oh, Mistra, please look after me. And he just, I've actually been waiting to use this spell there.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Identity theft. I'm going to make myself look like the human guild boss that we just killed.
Okay.
Yep, Frinsk, and I'm going to go Krinsk, and I'm going to go ahead and motion for Epi to. Okay, little brother of mine, do your best monster impersonation. It shouldn't be too difficult, actually. And the two of us walk out of the shadows towards the torturing. We are going to die.
The orc is facing the thing that is sitting up on the kind of throne-like wooden chair. And so his back is turned towards you as he's yanking on this rope and occasionally searing the guy at his feet. He's not paying any attention. And he doesn't notice you. The thing on the dais stands up, still cradling the thing, and in a voice that sounds like kind of out of a nightmare, like it's out of a hollow tube or something that is half in your mind and half heard. You hear this hollow, echoing voice that says, "We gave instructions not to be disturbed."
Putting on his best mook voice, he says, I'm begging your pardon, lordship, but we got word from up above. The prisoner is to be moved up to one of the houses up top.
I was not notified of this, my compatriot. Left the investigation to me. We need to find out the location of the dragons.
I understand, your lordship. I don't mean to overstep my bounds. Word just came up, like I said, from topside. Apparently, our so-called rivals are moving in a bit, and things are getting tight, as it were.
The creature looks at you. Give me a deception roll. It's going to give its insight roll.
I swear to God.
Could Epiphany give advantage by helping and speaking deep speech to it to say that
I will let you do
this
that.
one speaks
Yes,
the truth?
I will let you do that. Insight.
Okay, so let's see what
It's got advantage on insight.
Here we go.
It beats it by quite a bit.
Okay.
It still is not. It does not like see through the deception. It just doubts you, and it slings its robe around it like it is irritated, and it says, "I have heard nothing. I will have to check into this myself." And it moves away and through the curtain that was hiding the exit in the room. And you see as it moves away, it cradles the the creepy-looking thing in one arm, and in the other hand, it takes out a purple glowing orb about that big, and it moves into the other room with the orb and disappears, leaving the orc and his prisoner alone with you. The orc turns and looks you up and down. Krensk! You should have stayed outside. Now you may have wrecked everything. We may never find out the information.
Look, it was either come here and deliver the message or get my gillet slot back at the other room. I had to take my chances, boss.
Can Epiphany see any of the other team? Any of the rest of the team? Are they within 30 feet?
Yes.
Epiphany will try to create a mental connection with Nokri.
Okay.
If you can see her. And he will glance at disguised Relian and kind of give a little nod, which he would recognize from their partnership as, do we go?
Through the connection that hopefully is still open, he says, actually, he's just going to give a little shoulder twitch that says it's up to other people at this point. It's up to you three in the shadows right now, because Relian and Epi really want to run right now.
He'll just say, big scary thing left for a short time. This is our only opportunity to get target.
Okay, so just to double check my measurements on this whole thing, from where we might be to where the torturing orc is.
The ones who are in the room are probably only about 10 feet from the orc. The rest of you are back in the passageway, and the one in the farthest rear would probably be about 30 feet from the orc. So it ranges from 10 feet at the closest people to 30 feet at the back.
Okay. I am. God.
Does she say anything to us?
I'm not. I'm trying. Let's see. I'm trying to figure this out real quick. So I'm trying to make sure I have the distance to make it. If I just did my max distance at a run, could I effectively shoulder charge or shield charge the dude standing on top of our target to get him off?
You have a 30-foot movement, and that's the maximum distance that any of you are.
I'm gonna glance at Cassian and Lyric and go, whatever happens, get our target out. I will try to bring it through here. And I will go in and do exactly that.
Dead.
With that, I will have you all roll initiative.
We got.
We're dead.
Oh, but you said it was just the dude left in the room, right? Or did I mishear something?
It's the orc.
Just the orc, but it's still the half orc.
It's the orc for maybe 2 rounds.
If we can do this and start running, then do it. I mean, it's pretty much just get the guy and go.
Pretty much.
Oh, look,
yeah.
a good initiative.
Okay. I gotta do initiative. That's right. Yeah, there's my nat 1.
Well, you're still attacking first, technically, because you're charging into the guy.
I'm starting the surprise.
Surprise!
Hey, I mean, if you want to blow up the door so they can't open it, by all means, go for it.
It's a curtain. Actually.
As I look at the battle map, the curtains are on the other side. This actually is a door. He went through a door. Double door, in fact. So, yeah, it is a door. The curtains go the other way. But anyway,
there's a door between us and them.
He left through double doors to the west and closed them behind him when he left.
Who has rope? Who has rope or chain?
Like, could you just collapse the ceiling?
Or just run.
Yeah.
I mean, just get the guy and go.
Yes.
Because as soon as you get him, I'm backing up.
Yep.
I'm just doing this because I still have enough to maybe survive a hit.
Okay, so what happens now, oh DM, GM, Lord of our
You wait for next week to find out what you're going to do.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
So you have.
No, I mean,
Nakri will run in. Remind me, Nakri, that you have a surprise round next week that you will be getting. I will put these in descending order, and we will be set up for our battle next week. So you are up to possibly having a solution. We'll see what happens.
Maybe.
hey,
We're
guys,
gonna die.
We're not okay. Look, we're not gonna die. We're not gonna die. Okay. Like, yeah, it looks dicey right now, but frankly, did you honestly think you were gonna be able to BS your way into getting your hands on them?
I probably could have.
I mean,
Screw you.
No one actually asked me what my plan was.
Well, we did your plan last time. It failed, so now it's our turn. And it failed.
True.
Let the weird creepy guy talk to the weird creepy guy.
Actually, it worked. We clearly got rid of the greater danger.
And now that you are a little past it and beginning to figure it out, what was amusing them is that the yellow symbol indicates the lowest echelon.
Like
you were trying to boss him around with a "I just joined the club" symbol on.
Yep, I didn't know that.
Okay, so I got a funny story, and I'll wait till we're off camera to tell it, because Sam knows exactly what happened.
I like to think that. I like to think since because Epi and Rel have experience with these guys, they did know what the symbol meant, but they were just having fun. Like, no, this is gonna be hilarious.
So you set me up to fail. This
little bit. No.
Epiphany and Rel would not have been paying enough attention the whole time to know what the ranks were.
I think, Cashin could have known.
That is less well known among the guards. It's just that the symbol in general means don't do anything unless they're really causing the Lord's trouble. Right. Well, with that, we actually managed to get our Twitch stream and our YouTube and everything working right. Hallelujah! We'll be able to get a video up tonight, provided it worked as well as it looks like. So there will be a YouTube up. Hopefully everybody can see it, and we will see you next week, and join us on Saturday for Are You Sure?, where the group has been making some sort of bad choices.
The world's kind of going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, we only got a city blown up, a very big city blown up, but you know.
It's one of like the major cities. No, it's not blown up yet, you know.
Look, it's like you always say, you can't make an omelet without blowing up a few metropolises.
I mean, you're not wrong.
The bad guy, the chief bad guy, feels the same way.
Anyway, we will say good night from Crone's Crucible, and join us next week if everything goes as planned. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye, everybody. Remember, peanuts are neither peas nor nut.
You definitely are.
What was your first clue?
When I first met you.